Welcome to Panamazing. My name is Kwabena.
I'm Torkwase.
Kwabena and Torkwase. Kind of sexy sounding names there. We wanted to get on here today and talk about our recent experience that we had with visiting Panama. And to be accurate, Panama City.
Panama City Panama,
Yeah, Panama City. You want to tell them why we were there?
Well, we were there on an exploratory trip. It really wasn't, it was part vacation, but more exploring the city itself. We were unfamiliar. It wasn't on our radar, we'll say that. So we really didn't know what to expect. We had done some research prior to, but of course, once we got there, we saw some Panamazing things.
The audience really didn't get what happened then. What really was said is that we have to go back to Panama City or Panama for a real vacation, the exploratory tour. So one of the things that we found, I guess we can say Panama was amazing.
It was.
It was
We had
amazing.
a great time. We were there for 8 days and we had a really good time. Time.
I like to say that it checked all the boxes, and those boxes being that we did quite a bit of research for a number of months before going to Panama.
Right.
And I have to say everything that our research said it was, it added up to that when we got there and more. So hence the name Panamazing. But with that being said, we want to talk about the 10 things that we really love the most, those things that we found absolutely amazing about Panama. And we're going to start with number 10. That's to keep you around a little while, right? And so number 10.
Well, you have tourist friendly, so I'll let you go ahead and expound
I have
upon.
tourist friendly.
Yeah, you have tourist friendly. So
okay, you see
ahead.
how I got put on me. Place that's tourist friendly. Let's talk about what you commonly do. You're going to be going to some historical sites. That has to be a part of a place that I think is really tourist friendly. It has to be safe. We found Panama to be very safe. And let's put it right at the top of the list. We're going to talk about this in the list, but there has to be places to dine. The culinary scene has to be strong, give you a lot of versatility. And not only versatility, but it has to also be affordable. There were some nights when we did some special kind of outings. Didn't we do some special outings?
Oh, yeah, we did.
See, guys, she had a birthday dinner there that was pretty, extravagant, but maybe that wasn't enough. To be tourist friendly, also, you have to have access to those places, transportation and things like that. And we just found it very easy to get around in Panama. And so, in tourist friendly, again, I think also is about how do the people, the locals, receive you? And as we were moving around, not being Spanish-speaking people, the people were quite friendly to us.
Let's hold that. That's one of the numbers.
That's one of the numbers, so tourist friendly. Anything else you can add to it?
Just in terms of flying in, the airport, all of that, smooth process, going through immigration, all of that. So again, if you consider visiting, you won't have any issues with respect to that either. We thought the process was very smooth. So.
Okay, and I won't belabor point number 10, but also I think a lot of the expats will find this a soft landing because they use the dollar as their currency there along with the Balboa. And so you don't have to, if you're not that great with math or have
it's
the
dollar for dollar. So you'll be fine. Right, no currency that you have to be concerned about.
Okay. So, number 10, let's go to number 9.
Let's see, 9, we have natural beauty and nature. If you're in Panama City, of course, you're going to see the bay, you're going to see water, of course, the tree, all the nature that's there. But in addition to that, outside of the city, you have mountains, you have all these, natural state parks and things like that. So we didn't see a whole lot of the nature part of it because we were in the city, but it does exist in Panama, right? We have a metropolitan state park. you know, like I said, they have mountainous regions outside of the city, areas like Boquete and places like that. So
right in the city wasn't bad either, because right on the walls at the Santa Costera, I think I got that right. The raccoons, they were there. We did see the raccoons, and
they don't bother you, so don't get freaked out by that. Yeah. They just are along the what is that, along the walls there with the water. I think when the tide comes in, maybe you see it, but after that you really don't see them.
And I think people are feeding them,
but
so
you
they
don't
show
bother.
back up.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So
I think they're getting fed.
Yeah, we didn't have an up close and personal, you know, experience with the raccoons, but we did see them.
When we were walking the walking path, I mean, just a number of different bird sounds. Was some sightings of different birds and things like that. So that in itself spoke to just the beauty of the nature, the abundance of it there, and the floral. You know, we saw a number of different flowers and plants that we're not familiar with here in the U.S. or in the part of the U.S. that we're living in. So that's number 9.
That was 9.
Number 8, I'll announce it.
Okay.
The cost of living.
And I could say, I guess, if you say part of our experience being there, of course, we're not living there, but when you just compare dining and activities and the things that you would pay for, you know, it's really, you can have a really great time on a, you know, small budget if, you know, that's your thing. So they have fine dining, they have, all kinds of activities and things like that.
Let me comment to that on this. Okay, of course, one of our activities, this is just our experience, right, was going from little mom pop kind of places. What do they call them there?
Well, they're fondas, but we didn't go to a fonda, but we didn't go to a fonda, did we?
No, we did.
No.
I thought the place that we went to was a fonda around from now.
Which one? The coffee shop?
Around in a coffee shop, but some of those places we saw that there was meals that you can purchase for lunch from $4 to $7, which are very economical. And the idea that people have to do that every day is an indication of the cost of living. We also met with a realtor and talked a little bit about what it costs to rent out condos and apartments in different communities. And we found that to be very economical. There's a number of different YouTubers out there that break down the cost of housing in Panama City, so we won't go into that. The other thing that I found was just the cost of transportation in the city. We'll talk about that, but all of those things are reflective of the cost of living, the things that people have to incur daily. And oftentimes those things were a third to a fourth of what we're paying here in the United States. So I think the cost of living was another Panama amazing point.
Yeah. Well,
need to look into the screen.
Okay.
Number 7.
Health. Now, when we say health, and while we had an amazing experience, we won't go into it too much, but if you think of, you know, I guess if you say Latin American countries, or when you're going to the islands or places like that, and you think about healthcare, sometimes, you know, it raises a question mark. Well, will the services be up to par and things like that? But in Panama City, they have major hospitals. The doctors, for the most part, speak English and Spanish, so they're bilingual. The doctors, of course, are trained. A lot of them are affiliated with Johns Hopkins, which most of us know here in the States. And so you'll find that you can get on par, if you want to say equal or even better, you know, healthcare services if you're there. So if you needed to go to a hospital or, you know, go to a doctor or something like that, you wouldn't have any issues at all. And you'll find that the cost is very reasonable, and you could probably pay out of pocket and not have to be concerned with that expense.
Yeah, one of the things, we did see a number of different hospitals as we moved around Panama City. So they were quite visible. As Torkwase talked about, one that we saw was associated to Johns Hopkins. But we had the chance to go to the dentist. And since this was an exploratory tour, I was able to talk her into going to the dentist.
And I think one of the things we should say is because this was an exploratory trip, and we're looking at it from a standpoint of, would this be a place that we would want to, live, right? Temporarily, permanently, or what have you. So that was a part of the trip. So when we're going down this list and we're talking about, health or transportation or whatever those things are, it's the things that you would think about if you're living somewhere. So that's, one of the reasons we decided to also visit a dentist while we were there.
Hey man, look, let's just put it right on the line. We each got our teeth cleaned. We got a few x-rays, and I just knew we had blew the budget when we got the x-rays. But we were able to simply pay out of pocket $100 for those services, and they were on par with any other cleaning that you would do in the United States,
right,
on a normal visit to the dentist. So we're really pleased with that. So that's our little input on the exploratory and the health. Let's go to number 6, transportation.
Transportation.
What do you want to say about transportation?
Navigating around Panama City was so easy. First of all, it's a walkable city. So you can walk around to the various neighborhoods and things of that nature. That, like I said, they have coffee shops and all the different types of places to eat and things like that, shopping, what have you. The way we got around was primarily through by Uber. And I don't know if you've done any research with respect to Panama City, but we heard a lot of people talk about taking Uber and how it was inexpensive and Ubers are only this much or $5 or this. We took Ubers that were like under $3 on a regular back and forth. So no need to take a taxi or anything like that. They have Uber. Use your regular Uber, app and things like that. And that's what we took. And like we said, $5. I think the most we may have paid, $8, if that, maybe.
Yeah, well, we did do $8 going all the way from downtown to, I think, the Panama Canal.
Right, something like that. But outside of that, under $10. So you can navigate fairly easy in all around the city with no issues. Yeah.
And that was in an Uber XL where we had 2 other guests that came in and met us in Panama City, and the 4 of us traveled all the way out to the Panama Canal. I think it was about $8 for that trip. But commonly, we didn't exceed $3 inside the city for our transportation in Panama. In addition to that transportation, we didn't get on the subway, but we were able to verify that a subway trip was 35 cents. In fact, we had some of the locals as we were walking around trying to direct us to the subway system there. So it was accessible to where we stayed, the hotel that we stayed in near Avenue Balboa. So transportation, the cost of transport. Oh no, I have to say one more thing about transportation. I've had this propensity to do some research on YouTube looking at some of the Chinese electric or EVs that they're not allowed to be imported in the U.S.
Right.
Well, on a couple of our Uber trips, we were able to ride in some of those vehicles. So hopefully we can break down this wall, so to speak, here and get some of these vehicles here. We were very impressed by them. We even saw some of them on exhibit or being advertised at the Albrook Mall. We were able to go inside of some of them. The value for the luxury that they're offering was just sweet.
Real nice vehicles.
So next up,
number 5.
We're number 5.
Yeah, number 6 was transportation. Number 5.
Wow.
And maybe we could have moved this up on the list, maybe, but number 5 is Expat Community. There are a large number of expats living in Panama City. We were fortunate enough to go to 2 meetups. One was, they call themselves Dem Butlers, and we had been watching them before we got to Panama City, and we knew that there was a shout out to said cast. So we got an opportunity to go to one of their meetups. We met them, and through that, met a lot of expats, some from locations that, we were either from or currently living. So that was really interesting. And then there was another event, Black Expats in Panama. That's a shout out to Charlotte Van Horn. But these, and just to walk in and see that many expats and being able to just, communicate, or if you want to say, have conversation with people from the States and things like that. It was really fun. And so we had a real good experience with those two meetups. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I want to commend both of them for honoring Juneteenth on Panama soil. Each of the events that we went to honored Juneteenth in a very respectful way. So I was really proud that they did that. In addition to that, just the numbers. But I got to shout out the DMV, man. we met so at least 10 many people from the DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And we're both natives of DC. And so, that really pulled on our heart a bit to talk to some people, that comes from where we come from, and to see them, in Panama City was great. Hey, gotta give the A little shout too. We met a few people from Atlanta where we're living at now. And so, the expat community was really beautiful. Thank you for all of the exchanges to encourage us on the prospect of maybe, living in Panama, definitely coming back to Panama real soon. Yeah. Number 4. You put number 4 on the list.
Number 4, I have culture, and I think it's just really, when I'm thinking of culture, it's, again, something on the list is of course food, but the food, the people, just the lay of the land is very welcoming and very open, and of course music, all those types of things that are related to culture. I think that it just gives you a feeling of warmth, and I think that's probably why I said culture, because it's, of course it's laid back. It's very different from, the States and things like that. It's not even though it's in a city, there's a relaxed vibe. I would say it that way. So
and Panama got that vibe, man. No doubt about it. But it goes from the extremes. The culture, just seeing families, man. We saw a lot of families together. It didn't matter if we were in the Santa Costera or if we were at the mall, if we were in the city, even in the hotel we were in. It was family centered.
Yeah, and they're big on that. Mm-hmm. One of the things that they do mention is, on Sundays they work 6 days a week, but on Sundays they spend time with their family. So so it's good to see that.
Yeah. We saw those type of gatherings around the Santa Costera, where people were riding bikes, roller skating, skateboarding, paddleball, or what's the other new thing, pickleball, all types of things there. I even had a chance to shoot a little round ball with a young guy there. And so family centric, that's part of the culture, something that a lot of us are kind of longing for here in the U.S. And it was good to see that. The other thing with the culture, you mentioned the music. Yeah, I have to mention that Rojo Diablo, those party buses, the party buses were live, moving up and down Avenue Balboa. So that was there. And I have to tell you, we didn't have a bad meal in Panama. The food was great. Yeah. I don't care if we were at Costco Viejo, if we were in, El Congreso. Yeah.
San Francisco.
If we were in, the major hold on. We're going to have to say this now. This is
that takes us, we'll say that since we're already talking about food, this will just take us to number 3 then. Because number 3 on our list, going down the list, was food. So go ahead.
So we moving to the food? Or?
Yeah, we started talking about it, so that's food. Go ahead.
Well, we're up to number 3
already.
Man. The food. What was your favorite dish that you had? Being an appetizer, entree, snack. What was your favorite in Panama?
Wow. Well, I'll say one of my favorites is a dessert, and it's Panamanian bread pudding.
Where was that?
Very good. That was at the hotel.
Oh, that was at the hotel.
Panamanian bread pudding. It's very good. And then I think probably Man, it's a hard.
I'll tell you what she said.
It's hard.
Talked about.
Yeah, I can't choose because it's 3 places that we went, but all 3 of them were. So I can't say that one was better than the other.
Yeah, before you may call them out, because we're gonna call them out. You know, that was our experience. She mentioned the ceviche. Everywhere we went and had
ceviche. Yeah, I forgot
she
about
talked
that.
about the ceviche. So I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
But hey, and I had that full red snapper, fried red snapper. You know, it tastes like it just came out of the bay. That was hitting for me. But the thing that impressed me most about the food didn't matter if we were in a corner store or in the hotel, wherever we were only a few paces from getting some fresh fruit, which is a rarity here in the States unless you're going to a supermarket. Everywhere we went, there was fresh fruit, there was juices from those fresh fruit, and I think that is a major contributor to the culinary scene, the idea that you have access to fresh fruit.
Yeah.
We all know about some of the food deserts in some of the poor communities here in the States, and I wish that trend would come here to some of the more economically challenged places to have just access to fruit like that.
Yeah.
And we
I guess it being in, if you want to say an island nation, right? The tropical fruits that are there. Just to give you an example, they have pineapples, like whole pineapples, like $3-4. You just go right to the market. They're called them mini markets, and they're just all around the city. And you walk in, and it's just fresh fruit there: mangoes, pineapples. Yeah, it runs the gamut. But that just amazed me because we know how much we pay here in the States for just one pineapple. You get them $3-4.
And I just brought a lemon here at the grocery store. I got 4 lemons. They were 67 cents a piece. All right. But yeah, just the fruit was impressive to me. The range of restaurants was really impressive too. And, let's call a few people out on that food scene there. We went to a couple of restaurants, I think.
La Tapas de Coco, I believe. Was that it?
Tapas de Coco.
That's in San Francisco. That was really a good one. So if you go there,
thumbs
La
up
Tapas
on
de
that
Coco,
one.
El Caribe.
Yeah. El Caribe.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. El Nacionales.
Hey. So we just shouted out about 3, and so we'll probably put that down at the bottom or something for people that want that, or if anybody sees.
And then if you like rooftop vibes, it's rooftop vibes all over Panama City. So whether you're in the historic part of Casco Viejo or in the city, rooftop vibes. Shout out to Cielo Rooftop. Very nice, very nice. We'll hold some of that. But anyway,
is drinking part of food?
I guess we're not big drinkers, but
I
can't really speak to it like that.
Like the drinks were pretty hot, but I did. I won't say fall in love, but I really enjoyed one of the premier beers there, the Balboa beer. I thought it was on par with any beer that I've had from any of the other countries. I really liked the Balboa beer, but there was a national beer too, but Balboa was the better of the two for me. Anything else on food?
No.
Okay.
It's all good. And depending on what you really like, they have anything that you want. If you like American food, well, they have that for you. And again, they have all the, if you're a fast food person, well, they have all of them there. They have KFC, they have Burger King, they have McDonald's, they have Wendy's, they have IHOP. I mean, so if you want pizza, culturally, and I think from a culture standpoint too, Asian, Indian, it doesn't matter. West Indian,
very diverse.
Of course, Panamanian, right? But anything that you want, they have it. Yeah.
And I'm gonna double down on a couple of things in regard to beverages. We have come to, the research showed us that Panama has the most expensive coffee in the world.
The geisha coffee.
Geisha coffee.
We did not try
that. We didn't have the
geisha
geisha coffee.
When we go back next time.
We went to some coffee shop or two, and we also had coffee at the hotel.
No, coffee is great.
The coffee was really,
it's really
par
good.
Excellence.
So if you're a coffee drinker, you'll enjoy that as well.
I can't end this food segment without this. We got a few more minutes to go before we sign off. But man, we went to the Albrook Mall. We were told that the McDonald's had chicken. All right. Hey,
Not just like chicken nuggets. We mean like fried chicken.
Like fried,
if you want to say comparable to
whole
Popeyes.
pieces of chicken. Yeah. And so, no stereotyping here, okay? But we were told that the McDonald's had it.
Right,
and
right.
the McDonald's
the one at the mall didn't have it. But Wendy's had fried chicken, y'all.
Bro, let me just...
Fried chicken. Hey. And hold on, just to break it down for you. 2 pieces of chicken, French fries, and a drink for $3.99.
Hey, I'm going to just put it like we used to say in D.C. years ago. That chicken was hitting and holding.
It was really good.
For $4. It was excellent. But hey.
But again, that shows you runs the gamut. From fast food to fine dining, it's there for you if you want it. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Oh, yeah, but last thing, let's shout out the main restaurant in the hotel.
Neba.
Restaurant Neba. You can get your game up in Neba, man.
Neba was really good. Good experience.
The whole experience with the view of the city, be it in the daytime or nighttime, and the food was
great.
Really great there. Let's see. We're up to number 2.
Number 2.
We got a couple of more minutes, so we're at number 2. I think this one here should be in your top 3. If this one doesn't work, then you shouldn't even have a
Well, you probably wouldn't have a good time.
It can't be described as amazing, but the people, the people overall, everywhere we went, doesn't matter if we were in an Uber, in a hotel, on the street, at a historical location, whatever it was that we were doing, our interaction with the people were just really good. I mean, so
like I said, I think
Panamanian people.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier. The people, it's a very laid back vibe, and I don't mean slow in pace. I mean just very chill. The people seem to be very patient. They just move about and do their thing. They're very helpful. It is a Spanish speaking country, so of course, coming from the States and speaking English, right? You try to navigate that, but even if you try, they help you, and that's the great thing. But it was fun, engaging, right, with the people. Sometimes, of course, when we're in the Ubers, we are speaking, certain phrases and things like that. But it was fun, and I look forward to just immersing in the language even more. I don't feel better the second time around. I'll be able to have full conversation. But
I think that's going to help the neurons keep kicking in here to learn some
Spanish. But the people I think are very very pleasant, like I said, very welcoming and things like that. So no issues there.
And I tell you, if you attempt to speak a little of the language, Piquito, they will definitely just, really receive you even more, become even more helpful to you. So try to speak the language. Like in the Ubers, you did a good job at this, that you normally had to have a pin, a security pin to give to the driver. And man, she was just, uno, dos, tres, cuatros and all. And that was cool. And they complimented us often for trying to speak the language. All right. We're up to number 1. Can y'all figure it out? Number 1 for Panamazing is
Panama City.
Panama City.
It's Panama City. Man.
Panama City got it going on. It checks all the boxes, man. It is as cosmopolitan as any city I've visited anywhere in the world. Lucky to have gone to a few, but Panama City really has it going on. I think most people that we shared photos with were just shocked at the beauty of the skyline there, the beauty of the bay. All of those things were, to our surprise and to the people that we know, a surprise that such a cosmopolitan city exists. somewhere else. Little American exceptionalism, I guess.
And I think also, that, for many of us, when we are going to an island or on vacation or going to the Caribbean in general, we're on resorts or things like that. And so we're not in what would be considered, say, the major city or, the capital city or something like that. But to go to Panama City and, like I said, look around, and if we showed someone photos, they would probably think, is that Miami? Or is that some major city here in the States? And it's right in Latin America. So,
Unlike the reference you had, it's sort of like Miami, instead of being on a beach, Miami being on a bay. And of course, countrywide gives you access to those beaches too. So that biodiversity, again, makes the country, including Panama City, win-win chicken dinner, as they used to say. So I think that's it. Panama City, again, access to transportation around it, the ability, how can I say it, the different economic levels of the community, being able to go from a few $100s for some place to live to a couple of $1,000s and living still decent. Access to shopping, whatever level of shopping.
They have it for you, it doesn't matter.
That could be, what was the other one, the multiplex?
That
has most
But
of
even the
them.
Albrook Mall we thought the Albrook Mall was very nice. It's an experience, and so if you visit, just go to the Albrook Mall. You just have to go. It's they say it's one of the largest mall in Latin America, and trust me, you probably need at least 2 days at a minimum. We went twice, so just each time we went, we saw something different. So
a lot of discount shopping there. Again, a lot of families.
But they have it all for you.
It was like malls used to be in America.
A lot of activity,
Everybody's entertainment and all.
Yeah, it's like malls used to be back in the day. So
Yeah, but there was something else I was going to mention. I know we're running a little tight on time. But so Panama's, on a scale of 1 to 10, what did you
with
give?
1 being the top? Which way
whichever way you want to do it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, then, with 10 being the best, we give it a 10. I would give it a 10. If I wanted to give it 9.5, it'd only be, I don't know what I would say.
Okay. I got a little close down for us. So we broke down these 10 Panamazing things that we liked about Panama. If you had one suggestion to give to someone that's possibly traveling to Panama in the near future, what would you tell them?
With respect to what?
Anything. Anything that would be beneficial to them.
Just, you're going to have a great time. I think that there's nothing to really be concerned about. I mean, if you live here in the States, it's really just almost like an extension, to me anyway, of going to the States. You won't have an issue. It's a very, you're going to fly. Again, unless you're going and you're going to stay at a resort. We didn't stay at a resort. We stayed in the city. So if you do go and you decide that you're going to stay in Panama City, just trust me. Walkable city, transportation is fine, food is great, people are, great. I think the only thing I would say is just learn just a little Spanish. A few Spanish phrases, or just make sure you have Google Translate on your phone. You'll be fine. Yeah. Okay. You will be fine.
I got one for them. Go at the right time of the year. Understand it's a different climate. Yeah. This is the wet season for Panama up until between May and October, is that?
May and November, but June and November. We'll say June and November, but don't think rainy season like it rains every single day and it's downpours. We were fortunate enough that we had 4 days where it was no rain, and then we had 4 days where I think 2 of those days it may have rained all day. But again, the great thing about being in the city versus say on a resort and near the beach was that you could just switch up and do indoor activities. So if you were going to do something outdoors and it started raining, well, you just pivot and you find a covered rooftop and go on, but there are indoor activities that you can do. So you'll be fine. Yeah. But that's it.
Hey,
So we're looking forward to going back during the dry season. Well, because people say it's really hot. So just to see. Yeah, see the difference. But again, what we've heard is that October and November, those are the rainiest months, and so a lot of tours, they don't even do like tours and things like that during October and November. That's from the research and things that we've done and people that we've heard from. They just don't do any, they don't do anything outdoorsy during that time, and you might not want to visit during that time. If you do, well, again, like we said, you just find some indoor things to do, but that's our suggestion. If you're going to go, start looking probably, around December to May will be the driest time of the year. Mm-hmm.
All right, so there you have it.
That's it.
You see how the time went so fast there? Yeah, so we went a little longer than we expected, but we're so excited about this past trip to Panama, and we're looking forward to coming back. And so I'm Kwabena.
I'm Torkwase.
Torkwase, and we're just giving you, let's say it together, our 10 Panamazing experiences. You got to do that again.
10 what?
Our 10 Panamazing experiences. All right, y'all. We're out. Bye-bye.